10 ways to deal with toxic people you can't avoid. 1. Be empowered by your motives. Sometimes toxic people will trap you like a hunted thing. You know you don't have to give in to them, but you also know that there will be consequences if you don't. The secret is to make your decision from a position of power, rather than feeling controlled. In the same way, there is something they want from you. There will always be something you want from them, even if it is to avoid more of their toxicity. 2. Understand why they're seeing what they see in you. Toxic people will always see in others what they don't want to acknowledge about themselves. It's called projection. You could be the kindest, most generous, hardest working person on the planet, and toxic people will turn themselves inside out trying to convince you that you're a liar, unfair, nasty, or a slacker. See it for what it is. You know the truth, even if they never will. 3. They might get worse before they leave you alone. Think of it like this. Take a little human who is throwing a tantrum. When you stand strong and don't give in, they'll go harder for a while. We all have a tendency to do that. When something we're doing stops working, we'll do it more before we stop. Toxic people are no different. If they've found a way to control and manipulate you and it stops working, they'll do more of whatever used to work before they back off and find themselves another target. 4. Be clear about your boundaries. You can't please everyone, but toxic people will have you believing that you can't please anyone. So you try harder, work harder, compromise more. It's exhausting. Toxic people will have your boundary torn down and buried before you even realize you had one there. By knowing exactly what you'll tolerate and what you won't, and why, you can decide how far you're willing to let someone encroach on your boundaries before it's just not worth it anymore. Be ready to listen to that voice inside you that lets you know when something isn't right. 5. You don't have to help them through every crisis. The reason that toxic people are often in crisis is because they are masterful at creating them. It's what they do: draw breath and create drama. You'll be called on at any sign of crisis for sympathy, attention, and support, but you don't have to run to their side. Teach them that you won't be a part of the pity party by being unemotional, inattentive, and indifferent to the crisis. Don't ask questions and don't offer help. 6. You don't need to explain. No is a complete sentence and one of the most powerful words in any language. You don't need to explain, justify, or make excuses. No is the guardian at your front gate that makes sure the contamination from toxic people doesn't get through to you. 7. Don't judge. Be understanding, compassionate, kind, and respectful. But be all of them to yourself first. You can reject behavior, requests, and people without turning yourself into someone you wouldn't like to be with. Strength and compassion can exist beautifully together at the edge of your boundaries. It will be always easier to feel okay about putting up a boundary if you haven't hurt someone else in the process. 8. Own your strengths and your weaknesses. We are all a messy, beautiful, brilliant work in progress. Once you are aware of your flaws, nobody can use them against you. Toxic people will work hard to play up your flaws and play down your strengths. It's how they get their power. If you're able to own your strengths and weaknesses, what they think won't matter. Because you'll know that your strengths are more than enough to make your flaws not matter, or at the very least, to make them yesterday's news. 9. Don't expect change. You can't reason with toxic people. You just can't. That's one of the things that makes them toxic. Decide where you stand, and then stand strong. You don't need to do any more than that. They will try to make you bend, flex, and break at the seams. Because you have an open heart, the thought that someone might misunderstand you, disapprove of you, or dislike you might get to you. But remember that you're not dealing with someone who is motivated by what's good for you or your relationship. It's always about them, and it always will be. Decide that sometimes you're going to make it about you. It's what you deserve. 10. Choose your battles wisely. Dealing with toxic people takes an enormous amount of energy. You don't have to step up to every battle you're called to. For many toxic people, conflict is the only way they can connect. It's the way they feel alive, noticed, and important. Save your energy for the people who matter. What do you think of our video? Let me know in the comments section below. Before you go, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.